We're going to talk about adding integers on the number line. A lot of you right now are going, oh, I already know the number line. I don't need a number line. But it's going to help us a little bit as we get our brain untwisted as we start jumping in to not just adding the way we always have, but adding integers. So let's just jump in. So remember that integers are all the whole numbers and the opposites of the positive integers. So integers are all of those whole numbers. They're the positive whole number and its opposite. It's negative. Okay? So all the numbers on the number line, other than 0, are a signed number because they either have a positive or negative sign. You might be thinking, that's not true. A lot of numbers don't have a sign in front of it. When there is no sign in front of the number other than 0, so say you have a number and it looks like this. If there is no sign here, there is an invisible positive sign. If there's a negative sign in front of it, that is how we know it's a negative number. So all signed numbers have something called absolute value. The absolute value is always positive. Its absolute value is equal to the number of units it is away from 0. So negative 27 and positive 27 both have the same absolute value because both are exactly 27 units from 0. Okay? So no matter if it's negative or positive, that part doesn't really matter with absolute value. It matters how far it is from 0. So to show absolute value, we put little vertical lines around the number, like we have right here. So the absolute value of 3 equals 3. Here we have a negative 3 inside of the absolute value sign. And the absolute value of negative 3 also equals 3. Because if I made them into a number line, here's 0. We have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, negative 3. Positive 3. They're both 1, 2, 3 places from 0. Sometimes there's a math problem inside of an absolute value sign. So to do this, you solve the math problem, and then the answer is the absolute value of whatever is left inside of those signs. So let's try 3 minus 5. Make a better value sign there. I know, let's look over here. Let's extend our number line a little bit. We're starting at 3, and this is what we've done before, way back at the beginning of the year. 3 minus 5. 1, 2, and I'm counting units. 1, 2, 3, gets me to 0. 4, 5. I'm going to draw little arrows in there so I knew which direction I was going. 3 minus 5 units gave me negative 2. Still in those signs, so what is my answer going to be? Positive 2. Because what is absolute value? It isn't the value of the integer, it's the distance it is away from 0. We have to make sure we remember that. Keep that in the front of our head. Positive and negative numbers can be called directed numbers. So keep track of these. Write these down. We've learned a few new terms. Signed numbers are numbers with a positive or negative sign. Absolute value is distance from 0. Now we have directed numbers. Directed numbers can be thought of that, and think back to those negative exponents that we were doing, because the plus or minus sign tells you which direction to move along the number line, just like it can tell us which direction to move our decimal point. For a positive 3, you would move along the number line 3 places to the right. For negative 3, you move along the number line 3 places to the left. So positive 3 minus 3 on number line. Let's do that together. And I know that you guys know how to do this, but it's good for us to practice and get used to it. Okay? 1, 2, 3. we have a positive 3. Let's double check. Positive 3 minus 3. See, I drew that positive sign just so we can remember that it is a directed number or a positive number. So positive 3, that means we're starting to 3 units to the positive side. 0, 1, 2, 3. We're starting right here. Okay? So to show that, I'm going to show that from 0, I traveled 1, 2, 3 units in the positive direction. Now, I'm going to make that a plus 3. 1, boom, 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 plus 3. Now I need to do the next part of the problem, which is going to move me negative 3 minus 3. Okay? Minus means I move to the left. 1, 2. We arrive back at 0. I'm going to draw some arrows in there because I moved 3 spaces both times. And we can see how that brought us back to where we originally began. Think about that when we get into bigger numbers, when you have 27 minus 53. It's going to take a little bit more thinking. So using this number line and giving ourselves that visual is super helpful. When we are able to add or subtract integers, it's helpful to use a number line. That's what I was just saying. So if you have negative 3 plus 5, negative 4 plus negative 2, okay? If we went back to our number lines, we're just going to do the negative 3 plus 5. You can go ahead and try the other one if you would like, and you can always check that work in the book on page 415. Negative 3 plus 5. I'm going to draw some more of these. Okay. I always start at 0. Because it's a negative 3, I'm going to move to the left 1, 2, 3 units to the left. And now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have to, whatever direction my sign tells me, plus, that means to the right, 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Has left me at the answer of 2. And so that will be my answer. If we had done negative 4 plus negative 2, we would have started at 0. Negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then to here. Then we would have drawn some lines up. And then plus negative 2, we would have gone, okay, plus negative. Negative means to the left. 1, 2, now I don't even have a line there. We would have ended up here at negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 6. Hopefully doing that second one just helped you really understand what we're talking about. The best way to get this down is to just try it out. So go ahead and do the practice set, A, B, G, J, M. I'm not going to try to say them like a word because that didn't go very well for lesson 57. Go ahead and do your best and give it a try.